Welcome to Ecom Cowboy. This is D2C's daily show brought to you by Seguno and Postscript and AMP, and we are coming to you live from an undisclosed location in the beautiful Austin, Texas area. It is Thursday, February 12th, 2026, the year of our Lord. We have got a jam-packed show for you today. Eugene Healy, culture critic and big brain marketing genius, has let us know through his most recent Substack that the new status symbol isn't grinding and continual optimization. It's wasted time. What does that mean for us in the service industry, on the side of brands selling things in e-commerce? We will dive into it. McDonald's Caviar, instant sellout, hottest thing on the internet. If only they could transition and transfer that heat to the rest of their marketing, especially a recent video done by their CEO introducing the Big Arch Burger. We'll dive into that as well. And Seed Dance 2.0 is really the birth of an oncoming AI-generated Netflix. People are making incredible videos. The question remains, though, is this an actual help for brands in our world, especially when unending content is available? What's actually going to break through? Is it better AI videos? Not sure, but we shall see. Johnny Hickey will join us, CMO at Somewhere Sunny NY, creator of DTC Growth Summit. He will be with us on the show, and always as I am joined by my partner in crime, Colin Doherty. Colin, get in here. Get inside this show, sir.
Let's go.
You didn't get a hand clap, and I feel bad. Oh, there it is. Woo!
Let's go.
Now I feel good.
Nice.
Now I feel good. It's kind of like that laugh track when you watch sitcoms, you know, It just feels better when there is that there. And I feel that's what you deserve. So I'm glad that you got it. Welcome to the show, sir.
I'm pumped. It's even better when you remove those laugh track from the sitcoms and then watch them again. And you're like, oh, this is super weird.
It is actually. When there's no laugh track, it is super weird.
Yeah.
We have a very astute knower of ball who has just joined us on the show here. He's doing so much.
Yeah.
I don't think everyone actually knows how much he is doing.
Yeah.
DTC Growth Summit, Showroom Delfina, that's on the agency side. They have a trade show. They're doing all kind of things there. And then on the brand side, formerly Perfectwhitetee, which is still scaling through the roof, now Somewhere Sunny NY. We've got to bring my man, Johnny Hickey, inside the show. Johnny, get in here. Get in here now.
Let's go.
Yes.
Let's go.
How are you guys doing?
Boy.
Oh. Wow. He's got the Audi. He's got the Audi.
I see that. I see that Audi hat there. There you are. Now we got you. Johnny, welcome to the show, man. You are all over the place, always doing so much. Man, we're glad you carved out some time to get on here, brother, but we've been wanting to have you on.
I had to carve some time out of my sun chairs over there.
Dang, he's living the life.
You are. And this I find to be one of the things that's most compelling about you, brother, is that as you are doing so many things, you got brand over here. You got this agency piece that you're working on. You got
I'm just a janitor.
Okay, yeah, and it's that kind of spirit and heart. That's the exact thing I am talking about. Okay, and making it look effortless, minimalist. You know, hey, nonchalant, brother. We just run a few ads. You know, we make a little creative, and sales go up and to the right. I mean, give us insight into all that you do and how you make it look so effortless, man.
For sure.
There's a lot of people working behind the scenes. You know, I try to thank them, and sometimes I forget. Like I would say every month or two, I'll be like, hey, thanks a lot. And I'll list like 8 agencies.
Wow.
We have only one marketing employee in house, and that's me. Although I would say some of the people in the company do hold marketing titles, but they wouldn't even know how to log into Ads Manager or Klaviyo, or barely get into Shopify in some cases. No, So they've pretty much turned over marketing to me for the most part on the technical side, but on the content side, they own it.
Okay.
So when you're talking about, like, the reason I say janitor is that in my estimation, a marketing guy is just a guy who's using tools. So he's cleaning the toilet bowl, he's making sure that the water fountain has the right temperature. He's doing all that stuff, but he's not in the classrooms teaching. He's not writing the books. So that's what I think as marketers we do. We're behind the scenes pulling levers and doing our thing. But if you don't have the content, if you don't have the product, if you don't have all that stuff down, the branding, good luck.
Well, I hear you on that. If you don't have, if all you got is the tools and you don't really have anything to work with as far as those tools are concerned, then you're in trouble. I think my guess is, though, even though you esteem your role to be, in its own kind of way, largely on the technical side, I think you probably got a little insight into selling apparel for women. That is my guess. And I'll tell you this, I don't.
Yeah,
My entire career, all I've been doing is largely remaining inside the manosphere, so to speak, and selling to men and targeting men, et cetera, in large part, not exclusively, but I think you probably got some insight there. Is that fair?
I started in women's wear in the 90s, selling clothing to women directly.
All right.
In the early 90s. And by the time I would say 1995 had arrived, I had a clothing store in New York City in Manhattan, and I was selling predominantly to women, vintage clothing wear.
Wow.
Which is a tough business, it's not fun vintage. Well, it's fun, but it's not productive. It's tough to scale. And then I worked for I did a tiny bit of work behind the scenes. I guess it would be a stretch to say I worked for Calvin Klein. I worked for Calvin Klein in some of their photo shoots. And I worked behind the scenes at some photo shoots. I was like a PA. I worked at Victoria's Secret photo shoots. I worked at a number of photo shoots. Those are the big ones that I can remember. Those are the ones I worked on the most. And I was very familiar with public relations because I worked for a lot of public relations companies. I worked around a lot of fashion people, not necessarily doing the front end work, but like moving a sandbag to hold down lights, that kind of thing.
Well, whatever you've been doing, it's been working, because I see Perfect White Tee and I see Somewhere Sunny NY. I see it everywhere.
A lot of that's probably my wife. She really she's good boutiques, like so. I'll give you for instance. We just hit 1 million on Sunny Somewhere.
Wow, that's great.
It's a huge milestone, by the way.
60 days, probably 2 months. I'm not sure what it's doing on Shopify. I'm so lazy. I haven't even opened up the Shopify recently, so I really need to look at it. But we hit 1 million probably within the last 60 days. I think it was 45 days ago or something like that. And if you look at it, it's 90% non-Shopify business. So they did an order they did a 6-figure order to a single store that has multiple locations, obviously, but they've been selling like some of the biggest retailers out there.
Wow.
I'm gonna lie if I say which one it is. Like, if you said that the biggest online retailers were Bloomingdale's, Nordstrom, Revolve, and Shop Up, they're in one of them. It's not Bloomingdale's and it's not Nordstrom with Sunny Somewhere. I would say I don't want to say which one it is because they'll be mad. The one who's not will be like, what are you talking about?
Oh, good.
Getting into those retailers is extremely difficult. And once you do it, we're on their website. They're showing ads to millions of women.
Incredible.
For Sunny Somewhere. So that's a lot of what goes on with these brands. Is that I saw a map yesterday, and there's 1,100 stores with Perfect White Tee in it in the United States.
Wow.
The coverage that they have in some of the most expensive zip codes in the country is ridiculous. And they have their strategies and whatever for doing that. And I'm aware of that because I worked in that business for a good amount of time. We've had that business since 2008, and I worked in that business before 2008 because my wife was in that business, and I helped her in her job before that.
Wow.
I really want to double click on DTC Growth Summit, which I know you really you
Yeah.
just wrapped up with. But Colin, I don't want to take away your thunder here. Where do you want to go with this?
I was going to follow up exactly with that. Let's talk about DTC Growth Summit for sure.
It's purely selfish.
Well,
Nice.
It looks like a very unique experience event that you're doing, and I know it's fairly new. I mean, as far as I can remember, it's new as in a year old. Is that right?
The first event was in July 23rd of 2024.
So to me, whenever that happens, and of course I have thought about this myself, but to me that happens when you've experienced events like that before and you're wanting to create something that solves problems, unique problems that you don't see meeting the need right now. And so I wonder on your side, and what's been motivation for you to create this and then start taking it around the country? I know you guys are going to Nashville next.
Yeah, we're bringing it to Nashville in about 55 to 60 days. We're
Incredible.
still trying to between all the different schedules. So the inspiration I was at Jimmy's conference in Miami last year I think it was in April. Yeah, April 29th or something like that. And he was very kind to give me a spot on the small stage speaking outside. I like to speak, man. I like to talk.
Awesome.
So I was happy with that. And I had been talking to Grow New York about, I always talk to them. I've spoken at their conference once. And, I was kind of like, hey, would you like to have John Hickey come speak at your conference again? And they weren't too enthusiastic about it.
All right. Okay.
So I spoke at one, and they weren't like, yeah, John, come on down. They basically just said to me, maybe, we'll see, and we're going to schedule a date yet. So I was like, okay, that doesn't mean no. I still got
Doesn't mean no.
And then at Jimmy's conference in Miami, I was talking to somebody and I said, man, I'm still, I'm looking forward to Grow. I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to speak there or not. Haven't heard back. And then that person said, when? And I go, they usually have in July or June or something. And they go, oh no, they got pushed back to November. And I was like, no, because the reason I originally started going to conferences is somebody told me that it was a good place to learn about tactics to grow your business.
Yeah.
So in November, was it in the spring of 2023? So in November of 2022, we had sat down and said, hey, how much money you want to do next year in sales? We had done almost 3 million that year. And our next goal was 10 million. So months later in the spring, it wasn't looking good for 10 million. It was looking like this.
Yeah.
I'm like wildly hunting around. I'm in like Nick Sharma's group. I'm in the operators group. I'm in just all these different groups, like hunting down ideas, trying to find something. Because I'm like a thief,
Take that.
Somebody gives up an idea and I'm like, I grab it and I just try to wrangle it, execute it a little bit, then turn it over to somebody else to execute it at a higher level. And so I got the idea to go to the DTC Grow conference in New York City. And I went there and it was nuts. One of the things I'll tell you, one of the biggest things I learned there that everybody should do is try to do an email collaboration with the brand you share a customer for, who you don't compete with.
Yeah.
Make sure the tie-in is strong.
Yeah. Not enough people talk about this.
Yeah. Go ahead. Let's hear it.
No, please.
No, we want you to talk about it.
We want you to talk about it. This is a great idea. Please go into this.
So I got this guy. He's secretive. You should have him on the show. His name is Rob. His wife has a handbag brand called Shorty Love.
Okay.
So I ran into Rob at the conference, and we know each other, but he said he had been asking for a while. He said, hey, what about an email collab? Remember that? And I go, my people are so slow, man. He goes, I don't care. Just give me the go ahead and I'll take care of everything. I'll write the email. So I was like, okay, cool, do it. And that was it. He did it. He did all the work. We sent it, and keeping in mind, we were doing 3 million a year the year before. So, you're looking at less than 500 grand a month. We did 500 new customers from the email collab.
Wow.
500 people off of his list became our customer. It was like huge spike. So that was just one thing. There was, I think, I don't want to lie, I would say it was almost 15 things that I had on a spreadsheet of these are the things that I'm going to do. One of them was CAPI, Conversion API. Copilot was another one.
Yeah.
There was just a bunch of things that I did. And we hit 9.7 million that year. We were way off track before.
That's good. So you got right up there close to 10.
Yeah, you were close.
Almost.
That's
wow.
Huge. That's huge.
That's incredible, man. Well, so it sounds like DTC Growth Summit, you've created a new place and space that you've got more hands-on where people can do tactical learning from people who are actually growing brands, learning things like that. And you can craft that experience more to your liking. Fair?
So let me just lay something out. He's gonna shake his head probably in disgust when he hears this. But do you know Kamal Razak?
No.
Okay, so Kamal owns MHI Scale. It's an agency. They make video ads. So, I've been working with Kamal for over a year and change at this point. And here's one thing. Like, I know other people have used Kamal, and they'll say, they'll say, man, it can't be just Kamal because you're having tremendous success, and I tried to use Kamal too. We give Kamal a lot of good content to work with. So,
sure.
But he's talented. So if I would, like if you were Kamal, if I said to you, hey, Kamal, do me a favor, lay out your complete SOP that you rolled out on Perfectwhitetee a year and a half ago to write these ads. He's going to be like, sure, I'll send it to you. And it's going to be like a paragraph long.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, he may not want to give that up,
Yeah, I was about to say, you might not want to give that up.
So how about this so let's give you another scenario. So how about you build up Kamal for 60 days that he's going to be at an event, and you give him a microphone and stand him up in front of the stage. He gives you the whole playbook. So that's basically what I do with all these speakers. I pick out people that I want to hear about, and I just do it. Now, the thing is most people probably will have a tough time executing some of these strategies.
Sure.
That's just reality. And me too. But as a result of what he did, now I still use his agency, but as a result, we were able to build up our own little in-house team for video because, we've always made creatives. From day one, we've made creatives. And at one point, I think we're probably like 40 million or maybe 30 million. I'm not exactly positive. We had never bought a piece of creative from anybody ever.
Wow.
And 30 million in sales.
Wow.
We started to try it and it wasn't working. And then I think William Cast, you guys probably know him.
I don't
either.
He's on Twitter. He made some good ads for us. He did. And then Kamal made some good ads for us, and then Breakthrough Creatives. But we had gotten to probably, because we just crossed 100 million in the last week or so.
Awesome.
We had gotten to a tremendous amount of success just on the in-house creative team, but we were struggling to scale. And, it's like one of those things where all of the pieces were there, but you just need one thing. And he gave us that thing. And Kamal, to his credit, was extremely descriptive in his talk. And he, what I love though is I said that to him recently. I sent this thing. I was like, hey, bro, I'm sorry, but this is what I did. And he goes, don't worry, I didn't give you all on the stage.
Didn't give you the complete sauce. That's fair. Nice.
So all of those speakers do that. All of the speakers are people.
Love it.
Dana. Do you know Dana from Carry Proof?
Nope.
No.
Johnny, I think your circle and my circle needs to close a little bit because you're naming a lot of people I don't know, and
I don't know any of these people either, but they sound amazing.
You need to get Dana on the show. So Dana started his brand. I might get the figures. I think it's 15 months ago. They started a brand, and they've done 18 million in sales.
My.
Jesus.
He sells wallets, men's slim wallets.
Yeah.
It's a field with people who are supposedly good at marketing, and he's dominating. He's snatching 8 figures right from the big boys. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
When I didn't know what he was selling because he's in my group. I have this e-com group with 80 people, and there's all of these no agencies, there's me. So there was one agency, but there's no other agencies, no software products, just 85 marketers or 83 marketers, and he's in the group and he talks every once in a while, and I'm like, what is he saying? And so I heard about the tremendous scale that he's getting.
Yeah, it's unprecedented.
And I'm asking him questions and stuff. He's pretty close, he's pretty tight-lipped about it. He'll give you a little bit, and I was like, man, we got to give this guy a microphone.
Wow. So you're probably how I'm guesstimating how your key to success is you basically try to get into the rooms with these guys, and then any of the guys that you're like, I need more of the sauce, you're like, do you want to be a speaker? Because I feel like we need to have you
Come
on stage.
on.
So you're basically curating all
that.
of the knowledge that you want for all the people around you. Like just straight up. I love that.
I did it on YouTube for years. You know,
Oh, wow.
I would listen to people's YouTubes. There's a guy, Mr. Sam Baldwin. I learned everything I knew about Google Ads years ago from him. And then I stopped doing Google Ads at one point because we sell women's apparel. Women don't shop on Google as much. So, you know, I dedicated myself to Facebook ads, and I followed Marin Istanovich. He was one of the speakers too.
Oh yeah, I know of Marin.
I took one of these courses. I listened to Nick Theriot. I listened to the Konstantinos, the ads master, Facebook ads master. All those different guys who talk about ads on YouTube or Reddit or whatever. I would just take everything that they had and listen to it, and then write some stuff down and try to execute it. I'm nothing original, obviously.
Now you're just doing that in real life and getting all of those big brains into one room.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I like that.
Nice.
Well, it sounds like it's working, brother. I've
That's
been
amazing.
seeing people rave about the event, and so it sounds like it's working. Well, where is this thing going after Nashville? I mean, we ever going to see you in Central Texas? I threw Central Texas out there not long ago, and it didn't seem like we quite made it yet, but I'd like to see you down this way.
Nashville won the poll.
Yeah.
I don't always, and now I say this, I've said this before because I do take polls, but it's not always a vote.
All right. Yeah, that's fair. Not a vote, but I do want to hear.
Yeah.
But listen to your vote, but it's not necessarily, it's a poll. It's not an election, I should say.
Yeah.
One thing I would like to mention here is it's not all success. You know, like we have a lot of failure. We sold 4 or 5 stores a couple of years ago. We used to have brick and mortar retail stores. My first clothing store closed down, owing a lot of money. My real estate business actually did make a good amount of money, but went from worth, a good amount of money to being worth about 20% of what it had been worth at one point. So there is a lot of failure. You know, in 2019, I lost a couple of $1 million. And then in 2020, in the very first part of 2020, I lost a couple of $100,000 in the stock market because I was being an idiot.
Oh my.
It's not all success all the time. And then we closed down our first two brands. And just to show you that I'm an idiot sometimes, we closed down a brand in 2021, and I forgot to turn the Google ads off.
Oh my.
Oh my God.
And it was a $25,000 bill after the website was closed.
Oh my.
Oh my God.
And I'm an idiot too.
Oh my. Oh my.
Yeah.
Oh my. Yeah, that doesn't make you feel good.
That
doesn't
hurts.
make you feel good.
That was a
That's
bad.
hurt.
That's not the kind of bill you want to get.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I will say in that vein, I actually feel like we learn the most from our mistakes, but I've found that sometimes it's hard to share those kind of things when you get inside of a room. When we were doing Separate Club here every quarter, we would get 12 to 20 folks who are around here. It's easy to talk about your wins. It's much more difficult to talk about your losses and get actual feedback. But I think that's really what we need a lot of times when we get inside some of these spaces. How do you facilitate that? Is there something that you've tried, like what you did just there, sharing a story that elicits more genuine feedback where people can open up like that? Have you guys experimented with that inside the Growth Summit?
I think the best way to get people talking about failures, you hit on it, is you just talk about your own.
Yeah.
And definitely what you had said before too was you learn from your mistakes. I took $188,000 loss recently in a single month, and it caused me to just look at everything we were doing. 188 grand.
My.
Everything we were doing was like, I am chopping software, I'm cutting this, I need day-to-day reports on contribution margin. I need up to date, up to the minute of everything that we're doing. Every agency, like Barry Hott and I have been battling over on Twitter about hit rate. I look look at everything now because I took a shellacking this year at one point. I mean, just a real bad beating. And I was like, man, how did that happen? I looked at it and I just realized that when I worked in the liquor business, I worked for this guy, and I remember his name is Patrick Hannay Robertson. He's in Singapore right now running Tao or Marquee in Singapore.
Yeah.
I worked for Marquee. It's one of the biggest nightclubs in the world. I worked for them for about 10 years.
Tao's insane.
This guy would come in with a lime to work, and he would be like, hand it to you and say, do me a favor, cut this lime the way you normally do. And I would cut it up, and there'd be like 8 pieces. And he's like shaking his head in disgust. So then he gets a lime and a knife, and he cuts it into like 28 pieces. And he's like, limes are $2 each right now. This is how you work the next 30 days until I inform you differently. I'm like, okay, cool. So he'd be like, come to my bar in the middle of the night, and he'd be like, hey, I noticed you put 2 sip sticks in that drink. 1 sip stick per drink. Same thing with napkins. I mean, this guy's nuts.
Wow.
So it should not surprise you that his boss, his name is Andrew Sassone, this guy who owns, part of that place who hired me maybe 25 years ago, actually 29 years ago. The guy went from having about 60 grand in investors' money in the United States to making it to be one of the richest men in America at one point.
Wow.
He sold his company for, he actually sold the same company twice for like 50 million both times, I think. And that guy went from relative obscurity to being like well-known worldwide because he had a guy like that. So I started doing that in our business. I looked at hit rate like sip sticks. Limes are my ad costs. So now what I do is if I have about 8 agencies in the account. And the reason I do that is because I've noticed that it's efficient to scale. But the problem is everything breaks at some point. And so if you have an agency on a performance contract, and then you have an agency that's paying per piece or per concept, and each agency has their own system. So it's hard to track these things, and I don't want to overlay our system on them. I'm just like, how do you like to work? And then they do it. And I like to lead people to do their thing. But I started to notice that we were somewhat inefficient in some cases. So what I began to measure is things like, how much does it cost to test each ad? And is there a sweet spot where you test an ad and you spend a certain amount of money and you get 90% of the winners, and you spend more money and you only get 10% more winners?
Yeah.
So we began to test things like $2 ad sets.
Wow.
So we're testing $2 ad sets for a while now. I tested 5 in the beginning, and we were popping up winners. And then now I'm testing at $2, and we're still seeing winners. Like
Seriously?
I just opened an account. It's been, I think 3 days ago, we started $2 ad sets on it. It's Sunny Somewhere. $2 ad sets, 3 conversions, and the product is a $90 product.
and what you're finding from that is that, hey, if we get a couple of conversions, hey, these are the winners, and then we can cut the rest and we can scale this.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Well, I got to be honest. I didn't expect it to happen. I was planning to look up. So I'm trying to remember this guy's name. There's a guy on Twitter. What's the guy, Jason Applebaum?
Oh, yeah. Jason Applebaum. He does not have a profile picture.
No.
I'm not talking about him because he's obviously a master of ads and affiliate and all that. But there's another guy who's friends with him. I'm trying to remember his name. And he has this crazy ad set system testing. I'll tag him when you guys post this. But he basically said that they run their ads only on Facebook, I think. And that, so, manual placements. And he only runs them add to carts or something like that. And he tests them at this low number. And when he said that, I go, well, there's obviously another way to do things then. So that's what got me to thinking. And I looked at our system, and I didn't use his system. I was just like, let me come up with something that's pretty close to what he does that we're already doing. And I'll find his name and his post. I watched his YouTube video. He's pretty intelligent guy. Definitely somebody that people should be paying attention to.
Wow. And what you just described right there is totally new for me. I mean,
Yes.
there's 1,000 ways to skin a cat, apparently.
Yeah. That's like a frame breaker moment where you're thinking about Facebook ads in a certain way, and then Johnny, you just like blew my mind. I never would have been like, we're gonna do $2 ad sets and just like, we'll figure it out. And I'm like, oh, okay. I thought you always just made budget go up.
Well, I mean, we do raise the budget once they hit, obviously. But what we were finding was is that you get winners at a low rate, and then you could spend $500, $1,000, $1,000 on losers, and they're still lose.
Yeah.
So the idea is we were looking for soft metrics. We were planning to look for soft metrics and then graduate them, but they started getting conversions, and I'm still using the soft metrics. I am, but I think what's going on is Meta is so smart, and you give it a low spend, and it's like, plus here's one thing. We are putting good creative in there.
Yeah.
Man, I have taken a few things away from this conversation. Number one, I need to go to your Twitter profile and find everybody that you're following.
Yeah.
And then I need to go through there and figure out all the people that I don't know. That's
Yeah.
number one for me. And number two, I love this kind of outside of the box testing, considering, trying to efficiently find the fastest way possible to get winners, which we're all doing. But I've never thought about doing something like this. And I think if you've got this in your bag, there's probably more there. I think we need you on more stages, brother.
Yeah, it's
I
true.
got another one for you, actually. Have you guys been doing
Please.
email?
Yeah, I love it. I've used Postpilot. I've also used this other one that I cannot remember right now. I
Yeah.
can't remember the name, but yeah, I love it.
Yeah, same here.
Experimenting with every door direct mail.
Every door direct mail.
Okay.
So you're like canvassing an entire neighborhood, so to speak.
Yeah, you could go to the post office. There's providers who will pick certain zip codes, and they just blast the whole zip code, and it's about 50% the cost of what it would be for if you were picking. Because when you
Yeah.
prospect, and when I said direct mail, I meant prospecting. Because I've been using Postpilot for years to hit people who were in the funnel already, but prospecting wise, it's a little tougher. You can't send catalogs to people who are prospecting. It's not doesn't really convert as well. So you got to present a different image. I did a catalog last year with this agency, Bellardi Wong. And I don't know if you guys know Leo Volush. I'm gonna mess up his name. So Leo from Print Fresh.
Nope.
He's
Don't
got-
know him.
He's a cool guy. So Leo and I, free flow of information, and I'm always recommending stuff to him. He's always recommending stuff to me. He's a great guy, a little bit more low key than me. He's on Twitter though. So he recommended to me this agency by the name of Bellardi Wong, and I had never heard of them, but they're a big agency.
Okay.
So they said, he said they're great at catalogs, sending catalog campaigns, prospecting campaigns. So last year I was like, hey man, we'll give it a shot. We sent 200,000 piece mailer, 18-page catalog, and it was nuts. I mean,
Really?
crazy.
Wow.
So
and
you went forward with a catalog.
What's that?
You went forward with a catalog. You prospected with a catalog.
Yeah. So
Wow.
they give you a list of people, and then they give you a spreadsheet, and on the spreadsheet it's this one converted, and I think I don't want to lie. I think we had like 2.5% or 3% or something like that. But the numbers crush. I mean, the money is crazy. I was like, okay, when can we send another one? So we sent another one we sent another one this year. So now I'm sending one like every 6 weeks, 200,000 piece mailers. And then I got
Seriously.
Wow.
Yeah. book. I'm in this mastermind online. Brian Kurtz, he's the publisher of the book, Breakthrough Advertising.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's got a mastermind. So I joined his mastermind, and he's like, talk to my buddy over here. You doing direct mail? Talk to my buddy. So the guy gave me a book. So I started reading about it, and I found about every door direct mail. And what it is, say on Shopify, you go in, you pull a report, which zip codes do we sell the most stuff to? You find one, and you're like, okay, let me test. There's 800 people in that zip code. So, because for us, we can do that. Maybe for some products, they're not going to have anything, but I have a zip code that happens to be an island, and only 800 people live there. So I can send the whole 800 because I have like a bunch of customers on that island. So I can send the whole 800 person list with a catalog, and it costs like $50.
That's amazing.
It's nuts. It's dirt cheap. So I can send
amazing.
the whole list. If I wanted to go to a prospecting place for this, I have to purchase the list. It's like 35 cents per name, and you got to pay a fee to prospect.
Yeah.
10 grand for them to do the search and everything. But now I can just pull out these little zip codes and be like, I'm going to hit that whole neighborhood. You wouldn't be sending neighborhoods that I grew up in. I grew up in the Bronx, so nobody's doing EDDM for the Bronx but But you want to pick a neighborhood that has, wealthy people, and you have a product that costs a lot of money. Like, for instance, did you have the guy from Chisos on your show?
Yeah. Will was here just a couple days ago.
Yeah, so I thought I saw that. I talked to him like a year ago. He's a good guy. So he's the type of guy that I would say he should try that too, because there's probably some small towns, $600 product, right? $700 product.
Yeah, 6, 7, 8
up there.
He probably could find some small towns that are rural. So that checks the box of it's not 10,000 people that you're sending to.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of customers there. He probably has that same kind of thing. That's what you have to look for. You have to look for zip codes where it would make sense for that brand.
I'm glad that you brought this up, because I have explored prospecting multiple times with standard tools that most people go to inside of our space. And each time it's always been, you don't want to do that, Well, there's this other one I cannot remember. And then it was Postpilot. And each time it's just like, hey, just be forewarned, it's probably not going to see the greatest yield, but I'm glad that you bring this up, because number one, there's a way to get it cheaper, and there's a way to do it more strategically, where you can hit a zip code that is totally fitting for your wealth bracket, and you already have a significant amount of customers inside. That is great. And you're sending freaking catalogs. I just assumed, Johnny, you would be sending a postcard, cheap as possible. No, you're sending a catalog, and you're prospecting these people that way. That's incredible.
Well, it's there's a couple of things going on. So first of all, the cost to send a postcard is mostly the postage. If you look at the cost to send a mailer, and this is what my buddy from my mastermind had explained to me. He said, "What are you guys sending?" So I said, "Oh, we send a lot of postcards." He's like, "Don't do it." I'm like, "Why not?" He goes, "Well, how much is the printing cost on a catalog that the person can go through and they can look through?" He's like, "A beautiful catalog with beautiful paper and all these different things." And I was like, "Well, I don't know." And he goes, "Well, I do. This is what it costs." So I have his book. I got his book, and I read his book, and it's like a funnel. The mailer has to be like a funnel, and the funnel, if it's a postcard, is very shallow.
Yeah.
And I do think that Postpilot does do catalogs, but
they do. Yeah.
Yeah, they do. The issue I think that we had was we want a certain kind of paper, and that was a little bit of a wrestling match as to whether we could get it, the right paper. With this other place, they had like 20 kinds of paper that I like, that we, not that I like, but the white. And that was the kicker.
Wow.
Man, that is juicy.
That is juicy.
Well, Johnny, one or two things either need to happen. I either need to make my way to Nashville, or you either need to make your way to Austin, Texas.
Yeah.
So I think that needs to be on the docket. Is that fair, Colin?
Absolutely.
We talked about Dallas sooner.
Here's the thing. I mean, okay, I'm from Dallas. So of course I love Dallas, but man, the e-com community is not so active there. Not so active. It's a big business place. Now there's plenty of e-com people, but they're very scattered. Scattered.
The reason I mentioned is I got two of my strongest supporters. I got Sanjay from Replo.
Yeah.
And Zoe from Refunnel. So those two there, I talked to both of them about it, and they were gung-ho about it. I think it's a direct flight for Chris Slang.
Yeah.
It's a direct flight for me. I'm not sure if it's a direct flight for Michael, but it probably is. So that's why we were looking at it. I don't know if there's a direct flight to Austin. Plus, I mean, Jimmy's got his event in Austin. He's in Austin.
He does.
We wanted to serve a different market.
I get you. I get it. There are some great businesses there.
Yeah. So our basically our plan for the next year or so is we're going to probably throw some small events in cities like Nashville and smaller cities. My wife's trade show that we started in 2020, we do it 35 times a year, and it's all in, it's Pittsburgh, Boston, Chicago. There's like 5 towns in Minnesota and Wisconsin, and
this is in your blood. This thing. I mean, this is in your blood.
I had an event space in New York City, and I come from events because the nightclub business, is big, can do with events. And I owned a couple of events years ago. I started this thing called two of us. I don't know if I would. Yeah, maybe I didn't own it. I owned the business. I think I owned the originator, but I didn't own the show. The Seed, a vegan event.
Oh.
And I mean, I'm the last person you would ever say with some vegan stuff. But I owned an event space, and we did a research product, and we found that there wasn't enough vegan events in New York City. So we hired a couple of front men who were vegans and women. And then me and my partner, Harvey, were the guys behind it. And we started throwing events. We did a beer event. And I mean, I definitely drink some beer. So I was.
All right.
So we started doing events. And then I figured out that it was relatively easy to do events if you just do research. And if you want to start your own DTC event, I would say go to Reddit, go to LinkedIn, scrape the comment, and put it on a list, and then figure out what people don't like. Because that's what I did. I just scraped the comments of all the conference mentions on Google, and I put it on a spreadsheet. And then we were like, okay, and then we just launched it, and it took off from there. It was easy.
Wow. Well, Johnny, we know that you are a busy man, and we appreciate you making the time, brother. This is very insightful convo, and the only thing that I want to make sure is that we figure out when you're coming to Dallas, and we make sure we can have you back on the show. Can we do that?
We can. New York City in July, too. I mean, we like cowboys. Right. You ever seen The Naked Cowboy?
No, I have not. No.
He's a Times Square legend.
All right. Okay.
Times Square. Never seen him? Oh,
I'm not sure I want to see him.
No, I've seen him. I know what you're talking about, Johnny. Yeah, I've seen him.
That's great. Awesome. Well, we appreciate you, Johnny. Look forward to talking to you again.
Thanks a lot. Great meeting you guys on the show. Nice to see you, Colin.
That was powerful, man.
Dropping the sauce.
I cannot believe, number one, how many people he mentioned that I had no idea of. This number one, it signifies to me that e-com is much bigger than I'm aware of, Yeah. Number two, man, he has got some great sauce just on continually learning and trying and practicing, and I mean, finding this angle on direct mail and prospecting, which I just thought was, based on my kind of attempts at it, I just thought, it's a loser. That one's not going to work. But he's actually done it and found it to be very profitable. And he's sending freaking catalogs to people. Yeah. That I really loved.
Yeah. I mean, he is the definition of just shots on goal. He's going to try all the things and he's going to execute on it. And I love that because he also shared some of his failures too. Like those are pretty significant capital failures where you're like, hey, some people would just, call it or throw in the towel. And he just kept going. He's like, all right, cool. We'll figure it out. We'll see what was going on with that. We'll move forward. And then, we're doing $10 million now. It's like, you just keep on going.
He's got a great spirit of humility about him. I'm just a janitor, but a janitor's got some use. He's got some useful tools and a lot of experience.
Former fireman too.
This is another thing. Number three, the guy has lived about 9 or 10 different lives.
Yeah. A legendary life. It's crazy.
I mean, the more he talked, he's like, that was, I sold clothes to women in the 90s. I had my own vintage store, then I was in the nightclub business. I was working for this big dog here. Then I had my own events, business. And then my real estate. I mean, the guy is he's been all over the place.
Yeah. I'm like, dude, I need to be more interesting. I'm not interesting enough. You know what I mean? I'm not even close to that interesting. Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I thought I switched industries a few times. I mean, this guy's been all over the place. It's probably what makes him a Swiss Army knife is he's got, he's done so many things, learned so many tools.
For sure.
A true generalist. Well, before we move forward here, we need to talk about Seguno. Here, Carson. Seguno is the only marketing suite that lives entirely inside of Shopify. What's that mean, Chris? Why is it important? It's important because your email and your pop-ups and your banners and your reviews, they all live in the same place that you already work, and you don't have to trust some kind of duct-taped data integration that you hope is accurately reflecting what's actually going on in your retention. Your Shopify data is the data. That's why it's so good. And this is a big piece why Seguno won Shopify's 2024 Build App of the Year. It is built for lean teams with big aspirations. If you don't have a full-time email marketer on your team, this is for you. One-click automations, actual humans who are available to help you. They're not going to send you to another partner. Even you need help inside of Shopify, they become experts just on Shopify. They'll help you with that. You should go to seguno.com. They'll give you a free trial. If you tell them Colin and I sent you, they'll extend that free trial to 30 days. Go to seguno.com. Find yourself a little more money, a little more mashugana for that P&L on the retention side of your business. Make it easy on yourself. Save yourself a few headaches. Seguno.com. Many thanks for them being part of the show. Colin, post-luxury status, the new status symbol. This was so fascinating to me. This comes to us from Eugene Healy. Is the new status symbol not over-optimizing all of your time, but having wasted time that you are spending here? And I think that he is really hitting on something here. We've moved basically from, this is his argument, we've moved from conspicuous consumption and conspicuous grinding. We're all the time working. We were sold, hey, this is what the wealthy do. They're always grinding. His argument here is actually, that's not what the wealthy are doing. It's what the middle class is doing. The wealthy, they've got time to waste, brother, and they don't need to post about it. They don't need to be known for it. I'm going to read some of this because I think it's helpful to dive into. You give me your perspective on this. Since the 2010s, self-optimization has been aspirational. 5 a.m. rise, journal, cold plunge, bar Pilates, grind. These behaviors were celebrated as high status and profitable too. The self-improvement industry being valued at approximately $40 billion in 2024. Thorstein Veblen argued that people signal wealth through conspicuous consumption, conspicuous waste, and conspicuous leisure. Had he lived into the 21st century, he might have added a fourth, conspicuous grinding, the performance of perpetual productivity. Now, this is kind of identified as the core paradox of millennial work culture. Everything that's good is bad, and everything that's bad is good. Leisure makes you feel guilty. Whoever has experienced that before, I have for sure. Leisure makes you feel guilty because you're not working. Working constantly feels virtuous because that's what success demands. We optimized our work, then ourselves. What's emerging now is a pendulum swing towards a new aspirational leisure class, people whose value isn't tied to what they do, but to how effortlessly they exist, effortlessly. In a culture where people must optimize to extremes just to maintain what previous generations achieved by simply showing up, real luxury is being able to go post-optimization and declare, I am enough as I am. Time itself has become precious. So the ultimate status is to be wasteful with it, complete autonomy over your schedule, the ability to meet anyone, whenever, and always know the right spot, to decline opportunities based on values or vibes, to partake in long, leisurely meals with no rushed ending. Colin, I could go on even more. What do you think of this? I think there's really something here.
Oh, absolutely. It's just Americans turning into Europeans. I mean, that's all it is.
That's very insightful. Yes, it is, isn't it?
That's all it is. You go to, Spain and you go to Italy. This culture's existed for the past 10 years. And we go over there and we do, I've done vacations in Italy and Capri and those places. And they look at us and you're like, why are you working so hard? And then you see the grandpa and he's like tan, sunned out, and he's chilling, smoking a couple cigs on the beach, and he's having a couple clams and maybe drinking a little Aperol spritz. And you're like, gosh, maybe he figured something out that I don't, because I'm stressed out all the time. And this guy's just hanging out,
That's a great point. This is the Europeanization of millennial work culture, perhaps. I definitely feel this. I've definitely bought in. You got to grind. You got to grind. You got to, and I mean, I think you do. I think that you do. I don't know who can just simply enter into no, I don't do that anymore. I mean, I think it probably comes with sacrifices, unless you have truly already become wealthy. Perhaps you sacrifice the better job. You have to do different things with your budget if you'd like to have more free time and be able to enjoy longer, more leisurely meals. But I do think there's really something to this. And he also digs down into this. And I want to apply this to what brands inside of our space are doing. He also applies this to, like, When you have a thing of leisure that you are going to do you post about it? Would you do it
Mm.
if nobody knew that you were doing it? If you weren't going to post about it, would you do it? If you would do it if nobody knew, then that is what he calls neo leisure. If you're not going to post about it, if nobody's going to know about it and you don't do it, well, that thing in and of itself was just a kind of work you were doing for an invisible audience that
Sure.
you cannot see. It's very interesting to me. I think that, you tell me if you agree, I think that this is going to continue as AI proliferates. Oh, so powerful, can do so much, et cetera, et cetera. Perhaps as people get laid off, I think there's going to be more and more values to, hey, I don't work all the time. I do what I do. I live, I people who are close to me, my family, my friends, my neighbors, et cetera. We have a nice life, and it's human, it's analog, it's not always posted. And I have hobbies and activities that are largely exist and I do offline that nobody knows about. And that becomes a kind of status in and of itself. I think there's a good chance this continues. And it makes me wonder if, like, Woobles, where you are
Yeah.
crocheting, or if fishing for a man,
Oh.
where you're not live streaming it. Maybe you took pictures of your big bass, but you didn't post them on Instagram. Or hunting. I went out to the lease with the boys for the weekend and nothing was posted. Nobody knows what happened. It makes me wonder if there's going to be more opportunity in spaces like this for businesses on our corner of the internet.
Absolutely. And I think as, taking it this side, as the AI agents get even better, a lot of the big tech companies and a lot of the big tech leaders have talked about, we might be shifting to a 3-day work week just
Oh,
as a byproduct of that. You just can't keep, there's no need to just work this many hours. And I'm sure all the Goldman Sachs bankers absolutely love this, but you have to fill that time with something. Why not just fill it with being more human with your friends and family? And maybe you should take 2 or 3 months out of the year, spend it in Italy, spend it in Capri, and just start sunbathing and hanging out. I've made the pitch.
I saw this meme, and I think it's very fitting. I saw this meme of, some coastal town, be it Cinque Terre or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. And then the line above it was, I now know why the Italians invented unemployment. Because it's just gorgeous,
Oh yeah.
Why work so hard? Just relax.
It's the best. It's the absolute best.
It's so funny to me. I mean, I am most definitely very middle class coded, because there have been several times where I'm on vacation, and man, you just, after a while, you just can't even rest. It's like, oh gosh, I gotta get back. I gotta do something. I gotta, and maybe that's just part of my personality too. But I think there's something about this. There's even this other story here, and Carson, you can bring this up, about performative offlineness. I think this is kind of the other side of this, where this Substack here, which comes to us from, I cannot remember her name right now. It's called Casey Lewis. Yeah, Casey Lewis. This is After School by Casey Lewis. She's talking about the brick. You can take this down if you don't have the picture of it here, Carson. Essentially, what the brick does, it turns your iPhone into a dumb phone. And there are people posting about how little they have used their phone because of the brick, which almost seems like the most kind of online behavior ever, in a way. But it signals to me that, yes, there's going to be more opportunity here if you can feed into, I'm disconnected. We already know social media watch time, spending time, that is on its way down. And if you can create products or foster this kind of disconnection more with fishing equipment, with hobbies and crafts that involve using your hands and looking at your family and friends and talking to them, however you can facilitate that more, there's a wave there to be caught that people will not only spend their money on, but brag about online afterward.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think this is the path forward.
Well, I myself would like to lean into that and have a little more offline
like it.
analog time, I think. Before we move to our next story here, let's talk about Postscript. Focus is an amazing thing, ladies and gentlemen. When you focus and obsess over a single thing, you get outsized results. And that's what Postscript does for SMS. On average, when people make the switch to Postscript, they see a 22% increase in revenue. Why? Because Postscript, all they do is SMS all the time. I know your current partner tool, whatever, probably does 5 or 6 things for you all at one time. And that's nice in and of itself. But when you do a bunch of things, you don't do any of them really well. Postscript did far greater than what is average for me when I signed up. This is one of the first things I did inside of the last brand I worked at. When we signed up, we made very little money on SMS. I just did what they told me to do over the next year. And within a year's time, we were a top 1% account on their entire platform. If you go to postscript.io/SMS-benchmarks, what you will get is benchmarks on my vertical, my revenue band, what's normal to be doing for SMS. How can I get to the next level? Work with Postscript. They will get you there. Go test them out. Tell them Colin and I sent you. You will be glad that you did. Actually, we just had Alex Beller, their president, on the show. You should go and listen to that. Ecom 4.0 is here. The rise of the underdog. Many thanks for Postscript being a part of the show. Colin, McDonald's has released nugget caviar. Did you see this? I thought this was so genius. Nugget caviar, which I never would have thought of. It was actually free. You go, you sign up, you get it. I think it was free, and they sell out within minutes. Was it free, Colin, or did it cost something?
I don't know if it was free or not. I thought it cost a little bit, but funny enough, McDonald's stock hit all-time highs today too.
Did
So
it
maybe
really?
maybe correlated somewhat with what they're doing here. Seems like it.
Yeah, within 10 minutes, people were receiving the HTTP error 429. I mean, the entire website was shut down. They got the nugget caviar. They got, I think it looks like they got some swag. They got a card for $25. I mean, they got a number of things all here together with this. Sold out instantly. Creme fraiche, a mother of pearl caviar spoon. The thing that I love about this is that it's so other than their usual brand. You know, everybody always rags on McDonald's food, but people absolutely loved this. And I thought it was a huge win. But it comes in contrast for me to another recent marketing endeavor they had where their CEO was trying and eating and talking about the new Big Arch burger. Did you see this?
I didn't see this.
Okay, you need to watch it. Okay, let's play this, Carson.
Here you've heard about it. Here it is, the Big Arch. This is something that we have tested already in Portugal, Germany, Canada. I love this product. It is so good. I'm going to do a tasting right now, but I'm going to
There's a certain sadness to his eyes.
Just so you know. So here we go.
There is.
Holy cow. God, that is a big burger. We've got a very unique kind of sesame poppy.
It looks
sort of
okay.
bun
It looks
on it.
good.
We've got 2 quarter-pound patties, a delicious Big Arch sauce, and of course some lettuce. So, there's so much going on with this. First of all, let's try to get this thing. I don't even know.
I mean,
how
it
to
does look. It does
so
look
much
big.
to it.
Okay.
Oh, there's also some crispy onions on here as well. I see those kind of coming out.
Let's see him take
All
a
right,
bite
the
here.
moment of truth.
Take a bite, big bro.
That is so good. That's a big bite for a Big Arch.
It's
Distinctively McDonald's.
The
Only
thing?
McDonald's could do this type of burger, but it
Stands
also
out to
is
me.
unlike anything.
Carson,
else.
can you stop this
It's
video,
so
brother? Or no? Do we got to watch the whole thing? Okay, we got it. Okay. The thing that
Saying
stands
it's distinctively McDonald's isn't a compliment. It's just a description of it. It could be horrible. This is very distinctively McDonald's. You know what I mean? Only McDonald's could do something like this. That's amazing.
I mean, I would say it does look good for a McDonald's burger, but
Sure.
it's the guy. It's the guy for me that is just not a win here. I mean,
Yeah.
he looks like he came And I'm not being insultive here. I'm just, I'm commenting on the ad. Okay. It looks like he came from an office somewhere.
Accounting.
Yeah. It looks like he came from accounting or a library somewhere inside of Silicon Valley or a Chicago office building. He calls the burger a product. He calls it a product. We love this product, and then there's just something about the way that he's talking, the deadness in the eyes. It just doesn't connect for me. It just does not connect. Do you feel the same way?
Absolutely. And then for anyone who's ever had In-N-Out, they know that In-N-Out is 50 times better than any other burger place, that it even pales to comparison.
Yeah. It's true. It's true.
Unbelievable.
I mean, there are better options out there. There are.
Yeah.
I think here is my argument. You know what they need, brother? They need somebody in this CEO's place that is winsome, that can draw people in and make them love McDonald's more. They need this.
I got you.
Oh, who you got?
Guy Fieri.
Guy Fieri. Do you think Guy's gonna do it, bro? Is he gonna rave about the McDonald's burger?
I don't know. It sounds like a good fit.
I mean, maybe if they did a collab with him,
yes,
he came up with his own, kind of combination. Maybe they could do something.
The Frosted Tips burger and fries.
Frosted Tips with the earrings and the tats, and I mean that probably would hit. Actually,
that would rip. Let's go.
I think that would rip. Okay, I am going to propose somebody different, but I think that you will pick up this vibe, okay? And I am calling this guy Old Guy Diner Vibe. Old Guy Diner Vibe. Okay, Carson, bring up this next video to just give Colin a little taste here of who I'm talking about. And yeah, there we go.
Old Guy Vibe with a diner. Could be the move.
Could be the move.
Let's get back to the fundamentals. Local paper, local diner.
Pick up the
bench.
Bench.
There he is with a firm handshake.
Yeah.
Not sure why I made life so complicated in the first place.
Right.
Out here wasting time trying to dial in the perfect Bumble prompt.
No.
Stressing over what my top 5 albums of all time list looks like.
No.
Depressed because I can't rap the first verse of Biz Marquis's Just a Friend.
We ain't here for
Sad.
that. Sad.
To toss it all aside and just become a regular at my local diner.
Yes.
Get my old guy vibe on.
Yes.
Preferably sit at the same table. Grind on the menu even though I order the same thing 90% of the time.
Every time.
Fire off some thumbs up emojis.
Yes.
Simple life, man. Just sip some coffee and talk about how the times are a-changing.
Yes.
Scoff at any mention of Bitcoin.
Okay, all right.
About
You can
the
stop
I-formation
it.
days.
You can stop it, Carson. You can stop it. Okay. This is, I think, who they need. Because if you go to any McDonald's in a smallish town where there are regulars, who do you see there? You see old guy. You see old guy vibe, boomer old guy who comes in every day, sipping his coffee, right? He's got his pape.
Yeah.
He's got that thing opened up. And you know what? He's not ragging on McDonald's, bro. He loves McDonald's. He loves McD's.
I think you just want Sam Elliott as your guy, is what I'm saying. You just want Sam Elliott for a McDonald's spokesperson.
I think he needs to have a little heft on him, okay? Comfortably rotund, okay? Is what I'm saying. Not huge, but just just a little normal old guy vibe, a little heft. And you know what? He genuinely loves McD's. He loves the vibe. He's not there for the brand new iPad that your kids can play on inside of the booth. No, he's there because he digs it, man. And he's getting that breakfast McMuffin. And this is like this is who they need. They need an actual guy who does this and embodies old guy vibe at the diner who orders the same thing every day. That's what they need making these videos.
I love it. I love the pick.
And I think the nostalgia, the kind of Americana of a time gone by. I think people would rave for this. I think they'd love it. Yeah. Maybe not as much as the Caviar, but at a different angle, I think this would be beloved by our American public.
Absolutely.
So this is my pitch to McDonald's. Either Guy Fieri or old guy vibe that you dig up. Both. Why not both?
Both.
Why not both? Okay, before we hit our last story, you still got time with us, Colin?
Let's rock and roll.
Okay, let's rock. Before we hit our last story, we need to talk about AMP. AMP here, our good friends of the show. Actually, CEO Patrick Barnes was just on the show. AMP, if you can't explain how your business is doing inside of a single dashboard, a sentence or two, I'm not sure you know how your business is doing. You have to know your numbers down pat in order to scale with confidence in 2026. That's what AMP provides for you. Their favorite tool of mine, Lifetimely, allows you to know what is our CAC, what is our LTV for such and such said cohort. How are we tracking toward forecast? Are we hit it or are we going to miss it? Actually being able to answer that succinctly and concisely allows you to scale with confidence in 2026. Make it easy on yourself. You've been inside a team before, you know, everybody's got their charts, they've got their favorite metrics, got their way of answering what questions there are. You get with AMP, use Lifetimely. Actually, you get all their other tools as well. What it allows you to do is point everybody in one place and space, make you look like a big brain boss, marketer, team member, etc. Go to useamp.com. They're doing incredible things with their AI that's going to be available. It's going to be prompting you instead of you prompting it inside of 25 days, I believe. Go to useamp.com, pick them up, use them, save yourself some headaches. Scale with confidence in 2026. Many thanks to them for being part of the show. Okay, our last story here, I think we should hit on Seed Dance. Seed Dance 2.0. Seed Dance 2.0 is out, and there are so many killer videos that are rolling out. The one that we're about to show you right now is Ethan Hunt and John Wick.
This is crazy.
It's bananas.
This is AI.
This is totally AI. I'm not sure if it was one-shotted, but it wasn't one-shotted?
It's right there.
That's incredible. This is so impressive. And I think the real question here is, does this lead to an AI-generated Netflix of sorts that is
so good?
It looks so good.
Like, imagine this in 3 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, dude, what are we? I mean, I don't know where you like. What do we? I don't. I feel like the genie's out of the bottle at this point. This is so unbelievable that this was released and it's this unbelievable now. I don't even like, do you use this as a D2C e-commerce business and you're like starting to make crazy movies for your D2C e-commerce biz and you have like characters now? I don't know.
I mean, if I can lower my CAC by 0.0000001%, I'll like try anything. You know, I mean, if I can maintain performance and take it up a notch by 0.001%, I'll try it. I'm happy to, you know.
We need to make all these new videos in Seed Dance, and then we need to take Johnny Hickey's $2 ad set and just start dumping and just start finding winners.
That's right, baby. That's right.
I mean, seriously.
I mean, why not?
Why not? That's what I'm saying.
Now, you know, Oren, who is not with us on the show right now, but he had this to say. I am once again asking, what does this model actually change? We can make more B-roll easier, less CGI work on films, more creative for the ad account, more slop accounts on social. That's fine. Who does this really impact? I mean, I get what he's saying. I get what he's saying. I mean, if this is just going to be like more onslaught of slop, does this really help? Does this really help brands? Or he's asking like, who does it help at all? Is it just the X accounts that are getting large payouts because they generate lots of views? I think this is good pushback that we should consider. I mean, what would you say?
At some point, the AI becomes not slop. So like, this is approaching that point where it is actually a pretty, I mean, you know, it's not a Cinemark, you know, Christopher Nolan film, obviously yet, but we're approaching a level where it is a very viable option for the things you listed: B-roll, creative for ad accounts, you know, filling in these gaps, especially when we just talked about testing ad hooks and creatives.
Yeah.
Imagine if you could just test a bunch of creative that you spun up in AI And then sure, okay, let's make some real creative with humans from this point, because we already signaled the winners, because we've been doing a bunch of seed dance testing. Like, this viability for testing is so true. I mean, it's a huge, huge, huge opportunity.
I will say, as a marketer, I love it.
Yeah.
I'm going to test it literally on Monday. I will
I
be
love it.
using it and testing it. As a human, I think this is probably horrible for our society. I think it's, I do. I think it's horrible. And I'll say why. Because we're entering the matrix. Okay.
Yeah.
The more these things can just come forth with ease. Oh, I one-shotted Tom Cruise and John Wick fighting it out in a movie that doesn't exist. But now you loved it. And guess what? You can download this app where there's 3-minute episodes of things you never even cooked up, where all your favorite action stars are battling it out. And here's an example here. This is an app that already exists that is absolutely crushing, and it's AI generated 1-minute episodes they're mini dramas, and it's doing $40 million a month.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so is this good for humanity? No, it is not, because it's going to lead to even more of the zombification of all of us. You know, I mean, the feed is just, I'm addicted. Dopamine, give me more, give me more. I can't sit down for an hour. I need the story to be resolved inside of a minute. Give me more, give me more, give me more. I mean, it's horrible. It's horrible. So I'm not for it for humanity. As a marketer, I'm going to be using it Monday. And maybe I'm living inside of cognitive dissonance, but it is what it is. And so I will be testing it out for my ads very soon.
Completely fair take.
Many thanks to our partners, Seguno, Postscript, and AMP, for making this possible. Many thanks for Johnny Hickey for joining the show and just giving us sauce. We will be back tomorrow. Josh Durham's going to be on the show tomorrow. Very exciting to talk about using actual people, influencers, to make content. I think Oren would probably celebrate this. So we look forward to having you back tomorrow. Thanks for joining us. We will see you on the other side.